From Yaoundé to Douala, and today the Gospel of the Gulfield University Institute of Petroleum, Mining, Business and Management Sciences has been preached to the people of Bafoussam in the West region of Cameroon. While sensitizing the students and their parents about the practical school located in Limbe and the scholarship awarded to thousands of students by the Cameroon government through the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education to study in Gulfield University this year, the founder, Honorable KUMASE Simon, emphasized the aspect of discipline in the school milieu.
Discipline is the key. Without discipline, they should look at the head of state. You discover that it's a man who has a lot of discipline. He disciplines himself in personal level, he disciplines himself at the public level, he disciplines at the public service level. He tries to make that every Cameroonian should work under discipline, under principles of the state. And that is why there is the role of the law. The role of the law is for us to be disciplined. But today, the young people feel that they have their life to make. They don't take advices from the elders ones. You can't do anything they accept. You give them direction, they don't accept. You're heading nowhere. Because if you meet a country where you have only young people who feel they want to do anything they want to do, then they have no future. It's a very dangerous place. So the elder ones always calm down the pressure coming from the youth and give them direction. But when they don't go under direction, they are bound to be indisciplined. And when they are indisciplined, you can't achieve anything under indiscipline. You can only achieve through discipline. So I'm asking the Cameroonian people, Cameroonian children, the youth, to be more disciplined than before, because it is under the discipline, following the rules and the regulations of the state, that they can become something. Until you become a law abider, you can't progress.
The Chief Executive Officer of the university, in his eloquent presentations, remains objective and honest to the audience, and this has always been a source of inspiration for every participant of the conference.
The way the school appears to be is really a place to be, because from there, at least, you cannot lack a self-employment for yourself. There are many things, even though I've not been there yet, but just from what I've gotten today, at least I know that if I'm there, I can make it one day.
I want to really become an engineer. What I really got from the conference we just had now is how when you have, after your studies, you are self-employed, and when you are self-employed, you can be able to employ other youths from other domains, which will really boost up the economy of the country. And what I really heard from the conference is that they are very, very much emphasized on practicals, of which in other institutions only get from theory, and after studies, you still remain dormant in their specialty. But I really love the institution, mostly because they emphasize on practicals.
This awareness creation has been changing the mentalities of Cameroonians towards professional education for the country's economic growth.
I am so happy for this conference relating to the school. We are moving from the theoretical part to the practical part, which is very important, because in Cameroon we are so much concerned with the theoretical part. Now the director wants us to be self-employed, because when you leave this institution, it is very normal and factual that you can be self-employed, so you can fetch for yourself. Even today, I find myself very frustrated for even have sent some of my children to university for theoretical part. If I knew this program before, I think most of my children would have been in this institution. I think that we shall really work with him to see how the future of our children can be better off.
Skills and talent development are other components that distinguish Gulfield University Institute from others.
You have to believe with me that out of what you are studying, you must go through extra mile in order to attain the level of entrepreneurship. What we are planting now is to face the private sector. Cameroonian people seem not to understand the private sector. The private sector is what builds the economy. It's not the public service. The public service are administrators. So definitely what I'm trying to do and to say is that the Cameroonian youth should go entrepreneur. That is why Gulf has to give out of what they're studying. Everyone must be a driver, must learn how to drive. Everyone must learn how to do something. What you can do, like savon production, like eau de javel production, sanitizer production, solar energy installation, welding. These are things out of what you're studying you should do in order to keep yourself out of the line of beggars who always crying for parents to do this. The parents cannot do all. We have reached an age where we can even sustain ourselves. So that is why I'm so bent in Gulfi to give extracurricular activities in order that these children should face their world of their own, not only depending on the parents.
In order to strengthen the private sector, the director of the school encourages young citizens of Cameroon to reduce their dependency rate by embarking on technical education, vocational training, or professional education.
All Cameroonians cannot be looking up to the public service. It's not possible. And that is where most of us blame the state, but they don't know the load the state carries. The state carries a lot. The state has a limited thing depending on the economy of the state. And it's like every Cameroonian wants to be under the public service. One of my reasons I look around and I looked at the population. I started asking myself, even the state has to pay you 50,000, you have no reason to complain because the state cannot employ everybody, but the state is doing everything to employ people as much as possible. So when I look at this thing, I have to give space because I think I have entrepreneurial ideas. So I decided now to move on with my entrepreneurial ideas and to leave the government side. Not that it was too bad, but the thing was that I felt like being an entrepreneur myself.
With this concept propagated across the national territory, Cameroon will undoubtedly emerge even before 2035.